Hi everybody, it's Randy with Direct Action. A follow-up question that was presented by a viewer with regard to if I were to do selection again, what would I do differently? Spoke a little bit about bulletproofing the shoulders, being a little bit more stable and strong throughout the shoulders. And also we talked a little bit from the psychological perspective, where what I alluded to was visualization. Now, the follow-up question, which makes perfect sense, is how could we visualize what we don't know what we're getting into? It's a great question. And what I was suggesting and what I want to clarify to follow up with this question is the way I looked at preparing for selection is trying out for an elite tier 1 organization. So applying a little bit of logical thought, I knew there would be some sort of form of testing with heights, with water, and with confined spaces, for an example. Not knowing what those tests would look like or what they would do, the way I utilized or would encourage utilizing some sort of visualization is in those environments, in those positions where we are very uncomfortable and potentially apprehensive about the outcome. How can we visualize what we want to do? Put yourself in the situation where if, for example, you're not comfortable in the water and there's an element of water phobia that you're engaged with, then think about how you would want to respond with a positive outcome. So, when we add as many of our senses as possible, what would it feel like in the water? Let's argue and wager to guess that it's probably going to be cold. What would it smell like? What would the sounds be like? Some of those senses we can replicate as close to real what we may encounter. Therefore, we have a statement or an element of visualizing how we would persevere through those situations. So that's what I was alluding to when talking about visualization, thinking about a rucksack march that just seems like it's endless and you don't know where the finish line is, when it's going to come. Prepare yourself and visualize that you're going to be there for quite some time. So rather than hoping that 50 meters from now is the finish line, we prepare ourselves mentally for the outcome that it'll be over when we're told it's over. That way you wrap your head around the fact that you could be out there for hours not knowing when the finish line is. So that's what I mean by visualizing a potential outcome for a situation that there are unknown variables and unknown amount of time associated to that particular event.